tank. Kristine, thanks for joining us on Outside Source. Let me ask you, first of all, how significant is this visit?
This has been an incredibly significant surprise visit of President Biden to Kyiv. It's notable that there have been so many Western leaders, Europeans, who have passed through and gone to Kyiv, American leaders as well, but not President Biden. And so close to the 1-year mark for this conflict. You saw President Biden walk on the streets of Kyiv with President Zelensky, really showing the true solidarity that he feels and his administration has with the Ukrainians, and that he is not intimidated by Russia's war, that he feels it is safe and is showing the bravery that Kyiv is a normal city that he can visit and show solidarity, even though Russia has been attacking Ukraine, has sought to seize Kyiv over the past year.
How likely is it, do you think, that Mr. Biden may have pushed Mr. Zelensky more towards some sort of peace talks during this visit?
There's always a question about what, is on the topic of the conversation, but the reality on the front lines is not one that would suggest that we're close to peace negotiations. And I think President Biden is as aware as any soldier currently on those front lines about that situation, where a further Russian attack is expected. What is important, and as President Biden also said in Kyiv, is that that President Putin and Russia can stop this invasion at any moment. But that is not the inclination that we're seeing right now. The inclination is for Russia to try to push again this spring, to break through, to capture something more, to celebrate in Moscow the 1-year mark of starting this war, and to have something to show for it. And it's very doubtful that Russia would step back before having a lot to show for it. And the reality is that if Russia doesn't stop, that a peace negotiation is incredibly difficult. And so while President Zelensky is talking about a victory and a stopping of the conflict this year, and everyone, of course, desperately would like that to happen, the military reality does not lend itself to that conversation at this moment.
And what about perception within the United States itself? How much support is there still for the extra support that has been announced by the US for Ukraine? And how is this visit being covered in the US media?
So when you look at the U.S., there is on the Democratic side certainly a tremendous amount of support, and you have support also from the more Reagan-era traditional conservatives and Republicans, a show of American bravery, a show of confidence and courage in the face of Russia, really much fits into the full Cold War era of American politics on both sides of the aisle. Where we're hearing dissent is from this newer Trumpian wing, the very loud, but in sizes pretty small, more isolationist foreign policy Republican folks. And so here we have the governor of Florida, DeSantis, talking about decrying and objecting to this particular trip. And you see a member of Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene, also incredibly outspoken from a very vocal opposition to support for Ukraine, really talking about the need for the president to focus domestically and not himself go to Ukraine or send American money to Ukraine. And while very loud and often picked up by Fox News and other right-wing media, you do see that there are also parts of the Republican Party, still the traditional parts, that very much support Ukraine for all of the traditional values, democracy versus autocracy, really opposition to the Kremlin still.
Okay, Kristine, it's good to talk to you. Thank you so much.